on a foam roller on a high seat. Now, sitting on the foam roller itself, we wanted to ensure that it felt as if we had a sit bone sort of either side of the foam roller. We had feet at about hip width apart, and from here we wanted to sort of have the feet positioned as such that we could get heavy pressure through the heel while still being able to maintain contact with the forefoot. We had a ball between their knees, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't cue too hard of a squeeze in here. So the cue that we used effectively was squeeze the ball as hard as you need to so that the ball doesn't fall. Don't squeeze it so hard that if it was an egg it would crack. So it should feel as if we got a hand in there, we should be able to slide it away relatively easily. But again, we had enough resistance on that so that it wouldn't fall the other way. Now, in terms of setting up the position of the pelvis itself, we wanted to ensure, as we said, we've got contact with the sit bone either side of the foam roller. From there, we just wanted to play around with how far forward or back we were. And the way that we typically cue that is if we roll too far back, you'll feel that you're on your tailbone, too far back. If you roll too far forward, you'll feel that you're coming onto the underside of your pubic bone, uncomfortable, and again, too far forward. Somewhere between those 2 points, really the only sort of bony contact you'll feel are those ischial tuberosities or the sit bones, and nothing front and back. That's perfect. So what we wanted to try and cue from here is get heavy on those, push heavy through your heels, and by pushing heavy through your heels, we were looking to try and get nice and long through the torso, but that again was generated by pressure from the foot as opposed to any type of overarching or whatnot through the back. And to get sort of a sense of what we were trying to achieve with the breath, we used hands as a bit of feedback to begin with. So what we did was we took the thumbs and put them into the muscles of the small of the back and effectively tried to cue whilst doing a silent breath or inhale through the nose. We were trying to push the thumbs out with the breath to really sort of pressurize from down below so that we had sort of a foundation of air to start to sort of stack more and more air on top of it. And so that was effectively what we took them through. Once they were sort of aware of the sensation that they were trying to create with their thumbs, we were better served having their hands rest on their laps. Typically, if we go hands behind the back, we'll start to sort of create this forwards or downwards rotation of the thorax, and that was effectively what we were trying to sort of reverse in this situation. So the thumbs were there just to create the sensation. Once we got it, hands on thighs, and then from there we're just, again, sort of working through these nice, long, slow, silent breaths in through the nose, looking to have them feeling effortless. So we weren't looking for any sort of muscle tension up top as we were taking those breaths. So if I sort of set up side on, just to give a side on view of it, again, we sort of set up so that, I find my pelvic position. I've got, need to go a little further forward. I've got that foot position so they can get heavy through the heels while still maintaining forefoot contact. I'm up nice and tall. Hands on my thighs because I know the sensation that I'm looking for. And then I'm taking those nice long breaths. And each time we were to take a breath, the feeling was if we were trying to get taller. And so we would really sort of encourage a press through the feet to try and sort of help to encourage that height. The other sensation that we sort of cue this individual to try and sense for is sort of activity through the pelvic floor as well. So what we should feel is as we're taking a breath of air in, we should feel an increase in pressure sort of around that pelvic floor region into the foam roller. And on the breath out, we should feel that pressure lightens. And that's going to sort of play into this idea of the pressure mechanics we were trying to build up here as well. And again, with that breath out, with that sort of lightening of pressure on the foam roller, that should enable us to sort of push a little bit more effectively through the feet to again get even taller and try and encourage a little bit more airflow up top.